We are living in a world where it's easier to catch feelings, where it's easier to fall in love after a few DMs or after a few likes, where hookup culture is almost becoming the order of the day. Hookup culture is now dressed up as love. People can't distinguish the real thing from the fake thing. The hookup culture is now dressing up as love, now showing up as care, but it leaves the heart emptier each time. It leaves the heart heavier each time and emptier each time. It leaves the heart looking for something. When you're looking for something, you don't know what it is, but once you've not gotten that thing, you will know. Now, this is the truth that nobody's talking about. This is the truth that nobody is putting on Instagram, nobody's talking about on TikTok. Your heart was not built for a swipe left relationship. It's not built for a hit and run relationship. The heart is built for covenant and not for convenience. The heart is built for something that will last and not something that is just transient. My name is Praise God. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you how to guard your heart in a world that celebrates casual dating, in a world that encourages casual everything, in a world that encourages casual feelings. You're going to learn how to protect your heart from the hookup culture, how to protect your heart from, a hit and run relationship. Because guarding your heart is not old school, it is wisdom. The matter of the heart is the heart of the matter. So, guarding your heart is not old school, it's wisdom. It is holy and it will save you your future. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, let's even start with, what does guard your heart mean? What does it even mean? What does it mean to guard your heart? Guard your heart is not about ghosting everyone that smiles at you, or pushing away people that are showing maybe a little bit of interest in you. That's not what guard your heart is. Guard your heart is about discernment, it's about intentionality, it's about protecting that which is important. It's about asking deeper questions, asking yourself and the people around you, that's those that are interested in you, asking them deeper questions. Asking yourself questions like, who has unrestrained access to my emotions? Who is that person that can control my emotions? Who is that person that gets a say in my peace? Am I giving away intimacy without asking for investment and accountability? You need to keep your heart with all diligence, because out of your heart is the issue of life. So if your heart determines your direction, if your heart determines what you say, if your heart determines how you act, if your heart determines the response you give, you obviously can't hand the wheel of your life to somebody that just have good vibes, or somebody that just sounds good, or somebody that just speaks good. What boundary have you set to protect your peace? What boundary have you set to protect your heart? If you've not set any boundary to protect your peace, your gate, which is your heart, is open. And once a gate is open, evasion is inevitable. So you protect your heart, set that boundary to protect your peace, set that boundary to protect your heart. Don't give everybody unrestrained access to your heart or unrestrained access to your emotions. Hookup culture tells you it's just fun, it's just for fun, or that you're too deep or you're so serious. But it doesn't tell you the repercussion, doesn't tell you what happens after if you don't protect your heart. It doesn't tell you that every soul tie you create, every compromise you execute, or every situationship you settle for, it chips away at the clarity that God has given you. It might be a little, it might be coming little by little, but on the long run, it chips away at that clarity that God has given you. The clarity about your identity, about your worth, about your purpose. That is one thing that hookup culture doesn't tell you. Hookup culture teaches us to accept crumbs, to accept what is offered. When God has designed us for covenant, God has designed us for something bigger. But hookup culture will, dangle the that flashy relationship on your face. Whereas you have something that God has designed you for. God designed you for covenant. God designed you for something that will last. And the truth is that many of us don't know when our heart is wide open and unprotected. And one thing with a gate that is open, one thing with a heart that is open, is that every form of things, every manner of things can just come into that house. Imagine if a house is just open and all the occupants are not there. Anybody can just come in at any time, do whatever it is the person wants to do, and go away from that house. So you have to guard your heart. And your heart is your gate, the gate to your soul. You have to protect it. Check if your heart is is closed. Check if your heart is protected. Check if your heart is not wide open. Now, how do you know you need to guard your heart? What should you notice? Then you know that you need to guard your heart. The first sign is when you're constantly drained after speaking with them. Maybe after having a conversation with them, after going out with them, after speaking with them, maybe on the phone or anywhere, you feel drained. You feel as if something left you. So they're not adding to your life. They're not adding to your heart. They're not adding to your person. So once you have that kind of feeling with somebody that you're doing something with, your gate is open and you need to protect it. You need to guard that gate. You need to guard your heart. Or you keep compromising your standard and values just to belong or just to keep up or just to feel among those standards and values that you grew over time. But whenever it comes to them, you compromise your values, compromise your standard, just that you can accommodate them so that they don't feel bad. Or if you confuse validation for love, validation doesn't mean love. Some people can just validate you just to get something from you, to get that thing they're asking you for. But it doesn't mean love. Validation does not equate love. So once you always get validation from them, but you're not getting love from them, your gate is open and you need to close it. You need to protect your heart. Or you feel anxious instead of anchored in a relationship. There are some people that when they remember the people that they're in a relationship with, it will be as if they are scared or they start feeling anxiety. So when you feel anxious in a relationship, instead of you to feel anchored in a relationship, your gate is open. In fact, that relationship is wrong. Everything about that relationship is wrong. Now, let me say this clearly. If someone constantly make you to question your values, make you to question your principles, make you to question that which you believe in, they don't deserve your heart. Yes, they don't deserve that space. They don't deserve your emotion. Whoever it is, whether as a friend or even a partner or even a family member, they don't deserve your emotion. So check it. Anybody that is making you to keep shifting ground, keep shifting your boundary, keep shifting, you're compromising on your principles and your values. They don't deserve your heart. So you have to protect your heart. You have to protect it always. Now, how do you guard your heart without shutting down or shutting it down? How do you guard your heart without coming off as unapproachable? How do you guard your heart with wisdom and not fear? The first way is you filter everything through purpose. So everything they are saying, everything they are doing, everything they are suggesting you do, you filter it through purpose. So before you catch that feeling, before you fall in love, before you fall for that person, ask, is this aligned with where God is taking me to? Is this aligned with where I should be or where I'm going? Is this aligned with my purpose and my identity? So before you fall, before you catch that feeling, before you say yes to that relationship, ask these questions. Check yourself. Don't ask them. Ask yourself. Look at the scenarios. Look at the situation. At least you have known the person for a while. The person must have started as a friend. But when the person wants to take it further, you check, is this aligned with where I'm going? Because we all have somewhere we are going to. We all have our identity. We all have our purpose. So you ask, this relationship now, is it aligned? Is it aligned with my purpose? Now, the second way you can guard your heart without shutting down is you practice emotional boundaries. You practice not just emotional boundaries, all the boundaries I've been talking about on this channel. So you practice emotional boundaries. You don't need to overshare, especially when there is no intentionality, when there is no accountability. You don't have to overshare. Not everybody deserves your heart on day two. Not everybody deserves your heart on few smiles or few exchange of DMs. So you guard your heart from emotional overload so that you don't make mistakes or make decisions out of a place of emotion or feeling emotional. So you guard your heart. You practice emotional boundaries. Protect your heart. That is the conclusion of the whole thing. The third one is don't confuse chemistry for calling. Yes, you people might have similar goals or similar ministries, but check very well. A spark does not mean that it is God. A connection does not mean that it is God. So differentiate between butterflies in the belly and purpose. Differentiate between butterflies in the belly and purpose and identity and impact. So don't just say, okay, he speaks in tongues, he does this, we speak, we attend the same church, or we listen to the same man of God. That is not calling, or that is not purpose. So don't confuse chemistry for calling. Now, the fourth way to guard your heart without shutting off is you involve God early. So even at the beginning of that relationship, you involve God. Don't wait until you're very deep in that relationship before you now ask God, God, is this your will? Reason is that there is a high tendency of your heart now being inclined to that person, thereby building an idol in the heart. And once there's idol in the heart, and you're coming to God with that idol in the heart, He says that He's going to answer you according to the idols in your heart. So you check very well. Don't just, go on. Don't just start the relationship. You ask before the butterflies, ask before the dates, ask before the attachment, ask before everything. You get clarity before you commit. Be sure of something before you commit. So you involve God early. Don't just jump into it and build emotion, build a tie or build a connection before you start asking God, God, is this you? Now, the fifth way you can protect your heart, the fifth way you can guard your heart without shutting it down is you stay accountable. You have people around you, a community of wise friends, a community of mentors, even your family members, people that are not blinded by your butterflies, people that are not in love with that person, people that are not seeing all the good that person is doing, people that are ready to speak the truth, people that are ready to tell you the truth, tell you as it is without mincing words. Like they say, love is blind. So surround yourself with people that are not blinded with that love, that are not in love with that person. Surround yourself with people that will take a critical look, that will take a comprehensive look at your relationship, at the person that you're in that relationship with, and stay accountable to them. Because there are some flaws that you might not you might not recognize that they are flaws, but people around you, when they see it, they will tell you, watch out, that place you're going to is a deep. So you can guard your heart and still be open to love. You can guard your heart and still be approachable. The goal is that you should not be available all the time. Your heart should not just be open for everybody to just waltz in and waltz out. You should guard your heart with wisdom. So you should be wise even when you're going into a relationship. Now, let me remind you once again, you're not too picky. That is not it. You're not picky. You are just valuable to be mishandled. You're too valuable for everybody, anybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry to just walk into your life and go away. When you're running away from hookup culture, people might stalk, people might say you're too old school, you're too outdated, you're too archaic. Don't mind them. Your purpose, your identity, and value is much, much important than what is acceptable, much more important than the vibe or the norm. Yes, so protect your heart. You're not picky. You're not picky. You just recognize yourself as being too valuable to be mishandled. Remember that you're not behind. You're just building wisely. And a house that is built wisely, a house that is built with wisdom is not a one day affair. It might take time. So you're not behind. You're just building wisely. You're not hard to love. You're just too hard to fool. You're just too hard to be confused. So which of these lines do you need to hear the most? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. Now, how do you now guard your heart in a hookup culture? How do you guard your heart in a world that celebrates casual everything, that celebrates casual dating? First, you know who you are. That is, know your identity. Know who you are. Know whose you are. That's the person you belong to, and know where you're going to. So you get your identity, know the person you belong to, and know where you're going to. I have a video on identity and purpose on this channel. I'm going to pin it somewhere around so that you just go straight to that video. So you walk in love and in clarity. You walk in love, love for humanity, and you walk in clarity. So don't just mix up signals. Just don't just mix up signals. You bring confusion. So you let your peace be non-negotiable. Your peace should be non-negotiable. It should not be something that should be negotiated. So you should be held in a very high esteem. Your peace is too valuable to just be thrown away or to be trampled on. So let your love be real. Let your love be real. Let your heart be too hidden that The people that will really get your heart are those that really worked for it. Let your heart be protected, not by fear, but by truth. Okay, what part of hookup culture do you think is most dangerous for your heart? Drop it in the comment section and let us learn from each other. Let's keep on communicating from there. So if this video blessed you, if this video spoke to you, consider hitting that like button so that it will get to as many people as possible. Share it with somebody that you know that will need it. Share it with somebody that you love. And subscribe for more truth, for more grace, and for more godly perspective. So until I come your way next time, remember to walk in wholeness, guard your heart, which is sacred, and see you in my next video. Bye.